We all are against war. We don't want Trump or Israel bomb Iran, destroy our infrastructure, destroy everything. That's why I'm here, being against war.
Dictatorships fall when people rise, and that's what we're doing. We're all rising up together.
Everything is getting worse. The fact that we're drawn into an illegal war while the cost of living is just skyrocketing, it just seems like a slap in the face of the American people.
So I'm out here because I am a woman, a mother of a teenage daughter, a Christian, a veteran, and a public school teacher, and Donald Trump has attacked everything that I am and everything that I pride myself on being.
It's important.
In the name of humanity! And no one, not the bullying, not the
We had really good meetings. Obviously, it was an opportunity to talk to our allies of the G7 and outline the perspective of what we have going on with Iran. We talked about a lot of things, obviously, the Iran operation. And we're very clear, even from the very beginning. The objectives of this mission have been clear from the very first night the President announced that we're going to destroy Iran's Navy, destroy their Air Force, we're going to basically destroy their ability to make missiles and drones in their factories, and we're going to substantially and dramatically reduce the number of missile launchers so that they cannot hide behind these things to build a nuclear weapon threat in the world. As the Department of War has consistently outlined, we are on or ahead of schedule in that operation and expect to conclude at the appropriate time here in a matter of weeks, not months. And the progress is going very well. Obviously, we have some work to do. We have to finish the job, and we are finishing that job. I did describe to our allies, however, that immediately after this thing ends, with our objective, one of the immediate challenges we're going to face is in Iran, and they decide that they want to set up a tolling system in the Strait of Hormuz. Not only is this illegal, it's unacceptable, it's dangerous to the world, and it's important that the world have a plan to confront it. The United States is prepared to be a part of that plan. We don't have to lead that plan, but we're happy to be a part of it. But these countries have a lot at stake, not just the G7 countries, but countries in Asia and all over the world have a lot at stake, and should contribute greatly to that effort to ensure that either the Straits of Hormuz or frankly any international waterways should ever be something that's controlled or told by a nation state or by a terroristic government like the one that exists in Iran today and that radical terrorist regime. So there seems to be a lot of buy-in to that concept. There's a lot of work happening right now. The UK has played a prominent role in bringing that together, but other countries as well, and there's a lot of acceptance of all that, and our allies and partners here, at least to me, seem to be appreciative of updates on our operation and an understanding of what lies ahead of the next few weeks. Okay?
Mr. Secretary, those couple of weeks, how seriously is the United States considering deploying ground troops? And in those couple of weeks, what exactly will you do?
I won't discuss military tactics. I don't think anyone in our system is going to talk to you about what we have planned or what we intend to do. There's obvious reasons for it. But to the extent it has to do with like military tactics and plans that were referred to the Department of War, and the Department of War is probably going to tell you they can't tell you. So other than to say that we have objectives, I told you what those objectives are, and we are very confident that we are on the verge of achieving very, very soon. On the contrary, these meetings are oftentimes about thanking America for the role we played in trying to bring peace in Sudan. The recognition that the president played a key role in ending what was happening in Gaza, recognition of the role we played in stabilizing Syria, recognition, despite what they may have said in the press, that what we did in Venezuela was good for the world and good for our region in the Western Hemisphere. So, and appreciation for the mediating role we tried to play in this war between Russia and Ukraine. So I don't know. I mean, you guys ask me these questions, like, did I go into these meetings and people are angry? Nobody that screams or raises their voice and says anything negative. And if they did, I would remind them that I don't need to, but I would remind them of the role America's played over the last year. It's been a very productive role, very helpful to them. And I would just say this, and I said this yesterday, I'll say it again now. Iran is not the Iranian people. The Iranian people are phenomenal people. They deserve way better than what they have, which is a radical Shia clerical regime that has basically taken that country's wealth and used it not to build roads and bridges, not to build healthcare systems or universities, not to build a better, more prosperous country. They've used the wealth of that country to sponsor terrorism, build rockets, build drones, build missiles, build sea mines. That's what they've done with it. They try to kill people all over the world. And this has to be dealt with. That country was a threat for 47 years. That regime has been trying to kill and has been killing Americans all over the world for 47 years. We have a president that is not going to allow that to continue. So when we are done, Iran was already weak. When we are done with them here in the next couple of weeks, they will be weaker than they've been in recent history, and they will not be able to hide behind those weapons to break out and get a nuclear weapon, which would be crazy. For these people to ever get nuclear weapons would be crazy. Look what they're willing to do with the weapons they have now. They hit embassies, they target hotels, they try to kill civilians, they splash out at all their neighbors. Imagine these radical lunatics had a nuclear weapon to put up the world.
So you all actually pay. You assume that they convict the president's commitment to ceasefire and military settlement. The ceasefire couple of people now?
And where? Russia, Ukraine. Yeah, we always want to see it. We want to see the end of that war. I don't know why that's not a question. The last meetings we had on it were last Saturday in Miami, where Steve and Jared met with the Ukrainian side. There are no meetings scheduled as of now. Obviously, that war that goes on and it continues. It's a very unfortunate war. The loss of life is tremendous. The Russian side in particular is losing. I think they're losing now more soldiers than they're losing. But it's we're ready. We're ready to play whatever constructive role we can to bring that war to an end. But obviously, there are a lot of other things going on in the world as well.
On Ukraine, there were reports that the U.S. was going to divert some weapons from Ukraine to military to help make up for the effect of the Middle East. Is that accurate, and is that a message?
Well, it hasn't happened yet. No, nothing yet has been diverted, but it could. I mean, frankly, it's not diverted. These are weapons. These are not diverted weapons. These are our weapons for sale. Military sales, through Pearl, paid for by NATO. And so the question at some point is, we have a need. Let me be clear, though. If the United States has a military need, whether it is to replenish our stocks or to fulfill some mission international in the United States, we're always going to come first when it comes to our stuff. That has to do with every country in the world, unless a country doesn't want to survive. So I don't have anything to announce. It's not like I can tell you that that's happening right now, but it could happen, and it could have always happened. If we need something for America, and it's American, we're going to keep it for America first. But as of now, that has not happened. So far, Pearl's been unaffected by this operation.
Have you seen an increase in Russia's support for Iran in this war? And why was not a perfect time for sanctioning Russia and blocking the U.S.?
Well, that was scheduled previously. Not all of them were able to come over for it. I think we authorized come. We still think, let's separate two issues. Russia is still a powerful country with nuclear weapons, and it is important for nuclear powers to have some engagement at the governmental level, just like they do at the diplomatic level. I don't think that was a major concession in any situation. What was the first part of your question?
Has there been an increase in Russia's support?
Look, I'm not going to, let me put it to you this way. There is nothing Russia is doing for Iran that is in any way impeding or affecting our operation or defense. So that's the best way that I can put it.
So the U.S. tells Zelensky that security alliances depend on his role from Donbass.
That's a lie. And I saw him say that, and it's unfortunate he would say that because he knows that's not true. That's not what he was told. What he was told is the obvious. Security guarantees are not going to kick in until there's an end to the war, because otherwise you're getting yourself involved in the war. Okay, what is a security guarantee? It's the willingness of the security. If you put that in place now, that means you're injecting yourself in the war. What he was told very clearly, and he should have understood it, is that security guarantees come only after there was an end to the war. That was not attached to unless he gives up territory. I don't know why he says this. It's not true.
What is the U.S. position about us?
We told the Ukrainian side what the Russians are insisting on. We're not advocating for it. We explained it to them. It's their choice to make. It's not for us to make for them. We've never told them they have to take the agreement. The role we have played is to try to figure out what both sides want and see if we can bridge the middle ground. The decision ultimately is up to Ukraine. If they don't want to make certain decisions, certain concessions, then the war keeps going. Same with the Russian side. If they don't want to make certain concessions to the Ukrainian side, then the war keeps going. We're going to continue to try to facilitate what is possible. If it's not possible, then the war will continue.
What role could they serve other than preparing the way for potential ground invasion? While you speak about the whole week, are you concerned that this could embroil the U.S. in the kind of prolonged conflict that President Trump came to office promising to avoid?
This is not going to be a prolonged conflict. The objectives I've outlined, again, I repeat them, because I see these reports, like the news is not clear on what objectives are. We've been as clear as we can possibly be from the very first night of what the objectives of this mission are. We're going to destroy their factories and missiles and rockets and drones. We're going to destroy their Navy. We're going to destroy their Air Force. And we are going to significantly destroy their missile launchers so they can never hide behind these things to get a nuclear weapon. We are achieving all those objectives. We are ahead of schedule on most of them. And we can achieve them without any ground troops, without any. Now, in terms of why there's deployments, number one, the president has to be prepared for multiple contingencies, which we're not going to discuss. But we can achieve all of our objectives without ground troops. But we are always going to be prepared to give the president maximum optionality and maximum opportunity to adjust their contingencies should they emerge.
Mr. Secretary, on Cuba, 2 questions. So, for decades, you have been a proponent of regime change, but now there seems to be a sense that perhaps President Trump would be happy with a win, which would only entail an economic deal. So which one? There's a lot of there's a lot of reporting that
Any reporting on Cuba that you didn't get from me or the president is a liar.
Do you still want regime change?
I'm just warning you guys. All these sources that are pitching you on Cuba don't know jack. Okay? They're not in the mix.
Okay.
I promise you.
Do you still want regime change, or would you be okay with an economic deal? No.
No, Cuba's economy needs to change, and their economy can't change unless the system of government changes. It's that simple. Who's going to invest billions of dollars in a communist country? Who's going to invest billions of dollars in a communist country run by incompetent communists, which is even worse than communists? The only thing worse than a communist is an incompetent communist. And so their system of government has to change because they will never be able to develop economically without those changes. Economic change is important. Giving people economic and political freedom is important. But they come hand in hand. They come together.
Is there a deal?
I don't know why there's any confusion on
Is there a deal where Castro family remains in place and that's
It's not about the Castro family. It's about a system of government and a regime that doesn't work. Guys, a couple things on Cuba. I didn't come all the way to France to talk about Cuba. Let's talk about Cuba. It's perfect. I'm happy to do it because we actually talked about it in G7.
We cannot not ask you.
No, of course not. Plus, we talked about it in G7. Okay. Everyone talks about these blackouts. Cubans been having blackouts all of last year, all the year before. There isn't a naval blockade surrounding Cuba. The reason why Cuba doesn't have oil and fuel is because they want it for free. And people don't give away oil and fuel for free on a regular basis unless it was the Soviet Union subsidizing them or Maduro subsidizing them. They just don't do it. They may get a shipment here or there now and then someone, but not enough to sustain their country. Okay, so the reason why they're having that's why they don't have fuel. And the reason why they're having blackouts is because they have equipment from the 1950s and 60s that they never maintained or kept up. Okay. But ultimately, the reason why Cuba's a disaster is because their economic system doesn't work. It's a nonsensical system. And the people of Cuba are suffering because of the decisions, because of the unwillingness of the people who govern that country to make the changes that need to be made so they can join the 21st century. It is sad that the only place Cubans can only be successful if they leave the country. That's a very sad thing. You see Cubans go all over the world and find success except in Cuba. That has to change. And for that to change, you need to change the people in charge. You need to change the system that runs the country. And you need to change the economic model that is following. That's the only way forward if Cuba wants a better future. We've expressed that clearly and repeatedly over many years, and maybe now there's an opportunity to do it. We'll see.
Going back to Iran, is it your understanding that they'll convey their response to the 50-point plan today? And are you looking for any?
We haven't gotten it yet. Look, we've got messages. We've had an exchange of messages and indications from the Iranian system, whatever's left of about a willingness to talk about certain things. We're waiting for further clarification about who will we allow, who will talking to, what we'll be talking about, and when we'll be talking. I don't have any issues on that yet. It could happen at any moment. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. We're not predicting it. We're going to continue with our operation.
Signal that you're still serious.
Well, I mean, signal is they call you and say, these are the people that speak on our behalf now. This is what they're allowed to talk about, and this is when we're prepared to meet and talk further. That would be a signal. But in the meantime, we continue with our operation, a very successful operation. Every single day, Iran gets weaker and weaker. The Department of War is doing a tremendous job of weakening that regime and its ability to lash out against its neighbors throughout the world. Well, we had a good time. I'm happy about the agreement in that room that we need to be ready to do something. I mean, I think it's okay because it's okay with you guys. Well, we don't. No, hold on. We're not asking for anybody's help on this war. The president is clear. We're not asking for anybody to join the war. We're not asking for anyone to get involved in the war. We're not asking for anyone to get involved in this operation. We're not asking for that. We're not asking anything. We don't need what we're doing. We're doing the job. We're ahead of schedule. So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this. There are some of the Iranian regime that are going around saying that they want to make the Strait of Hormuz totally thing. They want to make it permanent. That's unacceptable. The whole world should be outraged by it. We're impacted by it a little bit, but the rest of the world is impacted by it a lot more, including many of the countries represented today here. And so if those countries are deeply impacted by it, all we've said is, you guys need to do something about it. We'll help you, but you guys are going to need to be ready to do something about it. Because when this conflict and when this operation ends, and the Iranians decide, well, now we control the Strait of Hormuz, you can only go through here and pay us, and we allow you to. That's not only is it illegal under international law and maritime law, it's unacceptable. And that can't be allowed to exist. So what we've said is that the countries that are most impacted by that should be willing to do something about it, and we'll help them. That's what I said today, and I had a good reception for that. That's the temporary law.
I'm just wondering if those will truly be temporary unless it looks the plan.
Well, right now I think they expire April 9th, and it's all about the oil and the water. So we don't have, that's not a permanent policy in the United States. Obviously, we'll make adjustments if necessary to invoke it. But ultimately, we don't, the president is not indicated to justify or permanent policy. This has to do mostly with oil that's already out in the water, and it's either going to go to, for example, to China, the discount. Now it's just, the only difference, that oil is going to be sold one way or the other. The only difference is more countries eligible to buy it, they're taking more of those. Concern about what's happening with operation. Look, I don't care what Iran says. The first two tankers that go through the straits after this operation is over, you're going to want an escort from somebody, or they're not going to get insurance. So the world better step up. But we have a second problem, and that is whatever Iran decides, whoever's in charge over there, whether they decide it's over the line or whatever it is. What if they decide, hey, we like this toll line? We're going to start charging everyone to come after. We're going to blow them up. The world better step up and do something about it. And so, especially the countries that most depend on the straits, rich countries, powerful countries, stable countries. So we'll be there to help. We're willing to be a part of that coalition, but we've encouraged others to sort of put it together. Many today signified not only that they understood that message and agreed with it, but they were working hard to make that happen. All right, it's getting cold. We're out.